What is the challenge today in cybersecurity? So before I do that, we are a cybersecurity startup, right? The world, I mean, you've seen the news. Everybody's being hacked all over the place. Viruses everywhere. So malware is everywhere. And in IoT, for example, there is not even security standards being agreed, yeah? And you already have your fridges connected. So with autonomous cars and robots coming on the farming industry, can you imagine if somebody hacks a make of robot farms? They can destroy full crops for an entire country, you know? And that's a thing that is happening right now, yeah? And it's going to be in 2 to 3 years, you're going to see more and more of those. So, going to take a little through a journey past. This man, Steve Jobs, created something called iPhone, and then he followed up with the iPad, yeah? What this has created is an ecosystem that has changed completely the world in terms of cybersecurity, because not just about the apps, it's the data that it generates. It is how you take your device. Your device is the most important thing. You can't leave your home with your device. You're constantly, every second, generating data, yeah? And it's the most personal thing that people have nowadays, yeah? So, 1 year after the iPad, this is when corporations start to implement a cloud-first strategy. And if you think what that means, yeah, let's bring all of our stuff to the cloud. Just think about this and what that means for, you know, CISOs and CIOs and CTOs. It's a huge problem, right? But that's the year as well that mobile first came out and Facebook and all the rest start to implement that. What this has created really is an extremely connected world, yeah? And in a world where it's really well connected, everybody interacts a lot more, yeah? So the problems start to be even bigger, you know? Not only already at the internet, but as all of these things start to appear, it starts to have a really huge problem for people to solve, yeah? But then this happened, yeah? A bit more mainstream, Internet of Things. This takes the cybersecurity problem to a different state, exponentially more difficult to secure every single device that you interact in the real world. That's what this means, yeah? And the next 5 years, you can expect everything that you interact with in the physical world to be connected. So, the challenge today, where do I start, right? You know, traditionally, it's a very difficult, hard problem to solve, yeah? And usually, it's a centralized problem. So, corporations, everyone really that has a company, tend to centralize every single resources that they have when it comes to IT, the way you manage your servers. Yeah, you put it to the cloud, still a centralized problem. And then, number 2, hackers live in a meritocracy environment. They share all, and they have no risk. Companies don't share anything. Governments don't share anything. And the reason is, if you are a company and you start to say, hey, we were hacked, yeah? And this is why, guess what's going to happen? Your competitor is going to use that against you, yeah? Governments do the same. So, in an environment where these guys are sharing all, yeah? And we are not sharing nothing, you're always going to lose. Always, yeah? So, also, it's really, really weak in terms of enforcing the standards, yeah, out there. And the more you grow, the more single points of failure you're going to have. Computers, laptops, mobile phones, you know, personally, fridges, whatever, connected cars. So the more you have, you know, the weak you become, yeah? And this is what people have been doing, yeah, constantly. It's insane to do the same thing over and over again. And that's what's been happening. For 35 years, the cybersecurity world has been doing exactly the same thing, trying to protect the single point of failure. You can't prove the negative. Yeah? You just can't prove the negative, and that's what everyone has been doing. So we look at this, and at this stage you're probably saying, what? You know, 35 years? Yeah, 35 years, you know. And so that's where we come. Now, Oris, we truly stopping hacking. We are here presenting something that we've done, which is we're solving a huge problem, yeah? And yes, yeah, you could be surprised, but, you know, can you imagine you having to unlock 1 million locks, yeah, at the same millisecond? Can you do that? You can't. Impossible. Yeah. So this is where we come in, and we're using blockchain as one of the technologies to achieve this. And it's I could stay here a long time, but on top of that, we're also using quite a few other technologies. Deep learning in AI, you know, some really cool things that is happening at the moment with AI. And if you come and talk to me, I can tell a bit more about that, yeah? So with our approach, is the more your business grows, yeah, the more you become secure. So think about blockchain. So we're adding device states to the blockchain, and the more devices you had, the more safe it will be. So it's completely opposite way. So when a device is hacked, we're not stopping from people hacking the first device, yeah? Let me be clear, that's impossible to do. And what we're stopping is from them to progressing. They don't get value when they hack a device. They get value when they start to increase the number of devices until they find a honeypot, a server here and there, yeah? That's where they gain the value. So that's what we're stopping, from them to progress. So they can hack the first device, a mobile phone, a server, doesn't matter. They cannot go to the second one because the whole blockchain will vote and say, no, your state is not safe anymore. So you're kicked off from the network, yeah? So that's the basic principle. So our vision is to protect really every user computer, device, IoT system under the sun, yeah? Basically, we want to protect everything with our technology. At this stage, I'm going to introduce you to Monica, and she's going to tell you a bit more about the technology.
Okay, thank you, Fernando. So I hope you like it so far. As Fernando mentioned, our solution is 100% based on the blockchain. So what does it really mean? He mentioned if your device is being hacked, in that millisecond, you know that your device is being hacked and you can self-heal the device. So what we can do based on your company rules, you can either self-heal the device or you can go back to the previous state. And blockchain meets cybersecurity is a very interesting view. And something about myself, I come from Slovakia, it's a very little country, but when I was growing up, my friends, we used to play outside all day long. And when something happened to me or to my friends, our moms, they knew immediately and they were sharing everything. So it's the same like Fernando said, when your device is being hacked, I don't know about it. When his device is being hacked or his mobile phone, we don't know about it. We are not talking to each other. Our devices, machine to machine, are not talking to each other, and they can share the vulnerability. They can share the malware between each other. So we can stop that right away. We can stop that with blockchain. So our solution is device agnostic. What it means, it can run on a computer, on your iPhone, on a server, and also it runs on a critical infrastructure. So as you can imagine, power plant or airports or a SCADA device. Next slide talks about the what we are actually doing. We are rebalancing the world of cybersecurity. So in anonymous way, we know if you have some kind of vulnerability on your end device, and we are sharing that in anonymous way through the Zeekr-Snarks technology. This is very powerful because, as Fernando was talking about, hackers are sharing the bad stuff, and they do it pretty quickly. But today, the knowledge in cybersecurity and how to protect your devices and servers, laptops, that is not being shared, and companies are not sharing anything between each other. Another part is about cybersecurity, which is always evolving. So cybersecurity and the threats are always arising, and your devices, they are living in the silos. So they are not talking to each other. They are connected to each other. However, you never know whether that connection is secure or not. So for example, when you're connecting to a Google or to a website, for example, Gibraltar Exchange, you don't know if that's a truly Gibraltar Exchange or if that's someone else just mirroring the web page and pretending that that's a web page. So your money, your crypto assets are at risk. And self-healing. So I already talked about that. Self-healing is really about you're being hacked, your device is being hacked. What do you do about it? Based on NowRisk blockchain rules, we can self-heal your device, we can move it to the previous state, or we can do something that we disconnected from the network if that's very critical. So for example, if you have a power plant and there is a device who is managing the core temperature in the core, right? And the temperature is always rising and you cannot stop the hack. What do? You can self-heal it, or you just disconnect that controlling system, which is controlling the temperature in the core. And real-time standards and SLAs. So the problem is not only with IoT, that there are no standards and SLAs for IoTs. But in security, we do have a lot of standards. For example, we do have ISO standard, we have SLAs, and we know about ISOs, GDPR, so data protection standards, privacy standards. And today, if I am doing a business, let's say with my retailer, or with a shipping company, and I'm sharing some data or personal data about my employees with them, I don't know if they are secure. I don't know if they are servers or routers, computers, if they are secure. And what can happen is that I share some information with them, next day they are breached, and I share the responsibility, the liability. And as you know, with the GDPR, there are very big fines. So our solution is also talking about real-time SLA and standard sharing. So if I'm connecting with the business, let's say a supplier or retail shop, I would know in real time if this person, if this business is following the security standards or not. NowRisk Tech. So I brought a little help for NowRisk Tech because Diva, we start with Diva. Diva is NowRisk technology which our CEO, David Carvalho, developed. He is working in cybersecurity for over 15 years, and Diva means Distributed Identity Validation Authority. What that actually means is, as I was talking to, is a certificate authority, which says that if I'm logging into a Gmail, it can tell me if that's truly a Gmail or if that's a portal which just looks like a Gmail. Or if I'm going shopping to Amazon, maybe somebody created an Amazon which is a fake web page and I don't notice. So this is one of the technology. Another one is smart proof of existence. And that's telling me, that's an API which is telling me if the machine talking to another machine, if that's the machine which I'm supposed to, or if a person which I'm talking to on the internet is the one who he is supposed to be. The next one is NowRisk hybrid chain. And NowRisk hybrid chain is really about creating a chain of industries on a blockchain. So if I'm in military, finance, or any other industry, I would have a different standards than somebody who is selling candies. And the last one is NowRisk distributed identity on the internet, which is really talking about the trust on the internet. Here is a little bit of our network, how it looks. And here you can see NowRisk blockchain with NowRisk sidechains for specific industries. So we work with different customers from different areas. I mentioned already military. We are working with companies from a financial background, with some banks. We work also with manufacturing devices and manufacturers and securing their networks. What is it really about NowRisk that is special? It's that we bring trust to the internet. We bring trust to your devices, and we can secure anything, anytime, and it's real-time evidence. If you would like to know more, Flavio, our engineer, he has a really cool demo, and he can share it with you.
Yeah, sorry, just on that one, the demo that we have here, you can come and talk to us. We're here tomorrow as well, but you know, it is infecting servers in real time with the virus that the UK government got where they were mining. It's that virus that basically is constantly mining. If you access a website, your device will be mining for someone else out there. So he can do that, and he can show you how it detects, and then it will cure completely, and there's an auto self-healing enabled there.
Thank you, Fernando. And we are publishing Evernow tokens very soon, so you can follow our webpage. Here's the token distribution, but the information is on our webpage, so I will not talk about it more, and that's our team. So any questions for me or Fernando? Sure.
How do you identify the devices being compromised? If it's being compromised by an unknown threat?
Okay, we can do it real time, so it literally takes 1 second. We can show you there, but how we are really doing it, every device is connected to our Nowris blockchain, so we know if that secure state of the device has been changed or not. Our demo shows really
you can
about...
come, we can talk to you. So but it's very simple. The state of your device is, if you're in a company, you'll have your blockchain. If you are on the sector has a blockchain, and then you have an Nowris, so it's side chain, yeah? And your device, if it's been hacked, none of these devices across the whole blockchain will verify your state, because the state is distributed across the whole blockchain. Yeah?
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Okay, our revenue model is really connected to the token itself. So we are selling the token, which is a utility token. And this utility token, if you will become token owner, you will have an interest premium in our platform, which means that as a business, you will have a huge discounts in our Nowris blockchain. For the individuals, this service is free, so we try to give it away to everyone who is interested to protect their computer, phone, fridge, as Fernando mentioned.
Whatever you want. Also, we have an API. If you want to create your own blockchain in your own company, you talk to us. There's a value attached to it, you know. You can probably imagine it's not cheap, yeah? So it's an enterprise fee for the enterprise customers. Okay, any other questions?